Alright, welcome to the video. So in this video, my plan is to build a NAS, but the catch is I'm going to do it on a budget. So because of that, since I'm working with a budget, I'll keep the budget around 25,000, right? So that's the maximum I'm going to go for to build this device. Uh, so as you can see, with 25,000, I can't buy brand new parts. So because of that, I'm going to go with some used parts for this build. But my advice is when you're using used parts, be careful, because especially when it comes to things like power supplies, you should never go for used parts, because for an example, this power supply should work 24/7 because it's a server, and power supply is a very critical unit in your system, so it can actually destroy your entire system. So when you are building a system, if you plan to build a system for yourself eventually, go for a brand new power supply, and then you can use some used parts. All right, before going for the video, or before going for the part selection, let's just see what is the average price of a NAS storage solution, right? Just to get an idea. So this is the price, right? It's going to be around between 1 lakh to 5 lakhs actually, depending on number of bays or simply the number of hard disks you can plug in. The price is going to differ. So in this case, if you have 6 bays, it's going to be 5 lakhs. But my goal is also to make a NAS that can support 6 hard disks, but under 25 or close to it, right? We'll see. So I found a place to buy this stuff. It's very close to my place, so because of that's why I selected this place. There might be places that you can buy these parts for cheaper, but I'm going to go with this specific shop because it's very close to my place, right? It's like 3 kilometers away from my place, so I can just go there and grab stuff. So it's MD Computers. I just found this shop very recently. They have good reviews, so because of that I selected this shop. But I have to say, I already bought 2 hard disks. One is 500 GB and the other one is 250 GB from Facebook Marketplace, which is, again, you can't trust, but it is what it is in this case, right? So I'm going to use the calculator just to keep my budget here. So already I'm going to add 5,000 because I spent 5,000 for my hard disks. I'm only going to buy 2 hard disks for now, but eventually I'll expand the storage. Right, so first thing first, I want to buy a good motherboard. So I'm going to go for used motherboards here. All right, there's plenty of options here. But what I'm looking for is actually a motherboard that's going to support at least 6 SATA disks, and it should be cheap as well. So 6 hard disks and cheap. That's what I want. H61 gigabyte. What is this? It is DDR3. Show me the number of SATA ports. All right. This looks promising. This thing seems like it does have good amount of storage. You can see there's 4 ports. 4 is not bad, but 6 is better. Let me see something else that I can. And also I'm looking for something that supports at least 4 RAM slots, because then I can like increase the number of RAM slots I have. Okay. This one have a M SATA port as well. I'm not sure. This one looks like have 4 here, 1 here, but I have to go to the shop and double check what I'm actually getting. But this looks promising, so I'm going to keep this my head, because you can see it's have all my requirements and does have good amount of PCIe express lanes, so I can use these PCIe lanes to install some SSDs as well. So I can increase the capacity without any problem. I can use all these interfaces as storage interfaces. So that's going to be very useful. And other stuff, I'm not going to even think about it because it's too expensive. I'm on a budget, so that's the important thing. I'm on a budget. I'm switching between these two. Once I go to the shop, I'll decide, but for now, I'm going to keep this as my go-to option. Okay, 7,500, right? So add 7,500. It is a B75, so probably it's, is it mentioned here? What is the generation? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Intel, but what is the gen? It's DDR3. So my guess is it's going to be Intel's 3rd gen or 2nd gen, maybe. We'll see. Yes, this is the one. Oh, my internet is slow. At the meantime, let's pick some RAM sticks. Shop RAM, used RAM. It feels so wrong to click the used RAM because at the end of the day, I can't guarantee whether these things works or not, but they give you 3 months warranty, so that's promising. Yes, it's 1,300. I'm gonna go for 2, so I'm gonna add 2,600 to this. Oh, it's 15,000. Okay, and what else? Okay, here we are. Yes, as I thought. 3rd gen and 2nd gen Intel processors, and the LGA 1155 is the socket. So there are 2 types of sockets. We have LGA sockets and we have PGA sockets. LGA is for line grid array and PGA is for pin grid array. Usually line grid arrays for LGAs are for Intel and PGAs are usually for AMD. So in this case, I'll pick this. I feel like this is a good option. And now I need a CPU. Let's go for CPU. I'm not sure whether they have used CPUs, but if they don't have it, Facebook Marketplace is my friend. All right. Yep. This is good. So we have i3 3rd gen. I'm not going to think about 2nd gen because my motherboard is going to support 3rd gen. But the thing is, if I have 2 options here, I'm not going to think about the 3rd gen i5 because it's 4,500, which is going to increase my budget a lot. But these 2 looks promising because this is a i5 2nd gen. I feel like I'm going to go for this, but at 1,000 more, it's going to be this. No, I'm going to keep this as an option, the i5 2nd gen. I'll see. I'm going to go to the shop and then I'll decide what I'm going to buy, right? For now, this is going to be my rough budget. So yes, i5 2nd gen, it's going to be 3,500. All right, 18,600. What else I have to buy? I bought the RAM sticks, hard disks, everything, and the last thing is the power supply. So in this case, they have used power supplies and brand new ones. My brain says go for the brand news, but my heart says go for the go for the used one because I want to stick with the budget. So in this case, I'm going to go for the used ones. Never going to recommend doing this. Please buy brand new power supply because I've suffered a lot because of power supplies. I want at least 500 watts. So because of that, I'm going to go for this. Looks promising. It's a, they say it's a gaming power supply. So let's see, right? And they only give you 2 months warranty. The other stuff got 3 months. So that's also questionable. That's fine. So add 3,500 more. I'm not going to buy a casing because I already have a casing. But to be fair, I'm going to add 2,000 rupees for the casing because it's a very old and rusty casing. I can actually buy the same casing for 2000 rupees from Facebook Marketplace. I think I bought everything. I have my hard disk, I have my CPU, RAM, motherboard, and power supply unit and the casing. So I feel like all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, everything's here. Let's go and grab the stuff and continue the rest. This is how it looks after assembling everything. I faced only one problem when I populate the RAMs as seen in here, like the first RAM to the first slot and the second one to here, it didn't boot. So because of that I changed the order, now it's booting properly. I think it could be a problem with BIOS, a setting that I have to enable, maybe dual channel something. But for now it works. As long as it works, I'm not going to touch it. I'll see what was the problem. Maybe it could be a motherboard problem as well, because this is a very old motherboard. But for now I can see the entire 8 gigabits of RAM without any problem. And this is the i5 3rd gen, pretty old as well. And did some amount of cable management, and I installed a small fan as well just to keep the airflow going. And for the system I'll be installing these 2 hard disks. These are very old hard disks as I remember. This one's from 2009, so it's more than a decade old. And this one is, I think it's like 250 gigs. And this is going to be 500. So these are not the same capacity, so I'm not going to run any sort of a RAID here, but I'll be running a RAID 0, that means. And for now, for like a home office network, this is more than enough. I'll be upgrading this later. I'll give some updates on that, but this is how it looks for now. And let's see how the configuration is going to happen. Alright, I'll see you in the configurations. Alright, I have the TrueNAS operating system here. So I'm going to plug the pen drive into the server. Okay. And you'll see it booting here. Okay. Okay, I think I have to connect the keyboard. It's connected. Alright, I zoomed it a little bit because I don't have a video capture device. So you can see the monitor now. What I'm going to do is, before continuing the installation, I have an extra USB stick, a 32 gig stick. So I'm going to plug that in as well to my server. So right, it's also plugged in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the system. So I'm going to press enter. So you can see now I have 2 options. I have my data traveler, that's again a pen drive, and then this is my bootable drive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the second drive, which is the 32 gig drive. So click it, select yes, okay. So I'm gonna press tab and selected it. Now I'm going to say okay. All right, so this it is all partitions and data on SDB, no worries. SDB will be unavailable for use, it's okay. And not installing on SATA, SAS or NVMe flash media is recommended. USB flash sticks are discouraged. So you can see if you, at this case I'm actually using a USB stick to install the operating system, but it is not recommended. Why? Because I mean, it's a pen drive, so it's not that reliable when it comes to running operating system, especially for a server. So I'm not planning to keep using it while it's running on a pen drive. I'll eventually switch to SSD or a SATA disk. But for now, for the demonstration, let's just go with the USB stick. So I'm going to say yes. And in this case, yes, I'll create the admin user as well. So the admin user is TrueNAS_admin. So I will have to remember this. So just in case, I'm going to take a photo. Okay, right. Then I'll give a nice password here, and here as well. Okay, then I'm going to say OK, and it will start formatting the disk, make the file system, and then after that we will be ready. And one more thing, I didn't plug this machine to a Wi-Fi router or anything, so I'm not gonna get an IP address. So what I'm planning to do is, once I done the installation, my Wi-Fi router is upstairs, so I'll go there and plug the server in there and then get the IP, and we can carry on the work after that from the Google Chrome, right? Because we'll get the web UI from there, we can continue the rest. All right, so it's installing. I'll pause the video from here and I'll come back once it's close to 99%. All right, so as you can see, we are at 96% here. We'll say, okay, we are done. So TrueNAS installation on SDB success. Please reboot and remove the installation media. All right, so I'm going to remove the installation media. I'm going to keep the other pen drive, and I'm gonna reboot the system. Okay, let's see. Moment of truth. Okay, all right, seems good. So I didn't install the hard disks yet. I'll install the hard disks once I can get a connection to the Wi-Fi router. Okay, everything looks good. Okay, so installation is successful. You can see you get an error. The web interface could not be accessed. Please check network configuration. Yes, obviously, because I'm not connected to the network or to a Wi-Fi router. That's fine. So now the plan is, I'm gonna turn off the system, plug in the hard disks, take the system upstairs, connect to my Wi-Fi router, and come back here and we can continue the configuration. All right, so give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, now everything's up. I set it up upstairs and directly plugged in my Wi-Fi router to the server, and only faced one problem. I couldn't get the IP address because I don't have any monitor upstairs. So what I did was, there is an application called WOM Wi-Fi for Android. I connected my phone to my wireless network. From there I ran the application. The application gives you all the information about the devices that is connected to the network. Simply it scans your Wi-Fi networks and tell you these devices are logged in, including the IP addresses. So from there I got the IP address for the server. If you were to test that application, the application name is WOM Wi-Fi. It's not a big deal. Basically do a network scan and get the details of the connected devices. Anyways, we are here now. So 192.168.8.109 is the IP address, and I checked my Wi-Fi router. From there I can actually reserve this IP address. So basically bind the MAC address of the server to the IP address, and then I can reserve it, so no other device will get this IP. I didn't do it, but I'll eventually get it done as well. For now, let's log into the device and see what we are working with. I did another configuration to this server. I'll explain that to you as well. So first of all, let's log into the server. So this happens time to time, like when you are in the login screen, it goes time to time. I'm not sure what is the reason for it. So let me run a continuous ping command and see whether there is any packet losses or anything. Sorry, the IP was wrong. It should be 8. All right, let's let it run in the background and see whether there's any packet loss or request timeouts or anything. All right, let's log into this. So admin, no, it was NAS admin, right? I think I took a photo of this as well. Okay, right. It looks very nice, and you can see all the information is here. My i5 is here, 8 gigabits of RAM, and off the camera I did one configuration. I wanted to install Tailscale because I want to access this server from anywhere, and because of that I installed Tailscale client and a Tailscale to here. And because of that, to install Tailscale you have to have a pool, right? So storage pool. Because of that I created a storage pool with the name ice. I'll show you how to create a pool. Basically you give the name. In this case I gave the name as ice, and then you have to select the layout. In here the selected layout was stripe. In my case I selected stripe, and so the idea of data stripe is there's not going to be any redundancy. And let me explain you the different types of so in here the stripe is very simple. Each disk stores data. A stripe requires at least one disk and has no data redundancy, because I'm just the striping the data and saving it in my drives. I'll show you what are the different types of configurations that you can go with, so you can get a small idea. And the continuous ping is also working. I don't think there's going to be a problem, right? It looks fine. So the connection is stable. So I'm going to close this. So there's no loss. So it's good. Let's come here. All right. So these are the type of configurations that you can go for when it comes to RAID. The dynamic stripe is basically you have minimum drives, you have to have 2, or I think you can work with 1, but there's not going to be any parity. So if there's a drive failure, you lose your entire data. That's it, right? But in mirror, you keep a backup of the entire drive. So the drive should be from the equal sizes. And if you have 500 GB here, and basically this entire thing will be mirrored to here. So if you lose one drive, you have the other drive, so you can actually work with it. And you have RAID Z, this is actually RAID Z1, and you have RAID Z2 and RAID Z3. So these things have letter Z here because these are ZFS storage. So because of that, the naming convention is a little bit different, because we are very familiar with RAID 1s, RAID 0s, RAID 5, RAID 10 likewise. So these configurations align with those. For an example, let's take RAID Z1. So this is equivalent to RAID 5. Okay. So in here what happens is it will give you a single disk redundancy. That means if a single drive fails, the data can be rebuilt from the remaining data and parity information. So that's how it works. And the RAID Z2 is actually equivalent to RAID 6 actually, RAID 6. So here you have double disk redundancy. That means it can withstand the failure of 2 drives without data loss. So you can lose 2 drives, but still you can recover the data. And then you have mirror, which is equivalent to RAID 1. That means you one-to-one backup everything there. And then you have RAID Z3. In here you have like very high level of redundancy, like you have like triple disk redundancy. This is also similar to RAID 6, but with the ability to withstand the failure of 3 drives. So you can see in the RAID Z2 you have only 2, but in here you have ability to withstand drive failures up to 3 disks. So high availability is going to be there, and the redundancy is also going to be there. So why we work with ZFS storage? Because at the end of the day, ZFS gives you more flexibility in terms of redundancy levels, and also performance wise it's very good as well. So I created a dynamic stripe, so you can simply say this is like a RAID 0, because we don't have any sort of redundancy or acceptable drive failures. So this is definitely not recommended, but I'm working with 2 hard disks, and one is 500 GB and the other one is like 250 something. So you can see like I don't have any other option other than going for the RAID 0 or the data stripe. So because of that I selected it, and then from here you can actually go to manual disk selections. In this case I can't see any disks because I already created the disks, but when you go here you can say add, then this will come here, then you'll see the 2 drives popping up here. Okay, the 2 drives will be here, so you can simply drag it and drop it here. That's it. You can do that. Then you're gonna save it, and that's it. Very simple, don't worry. You didn't miss a lot. I had to do it because I wanted to install Tailscale before starting the rest. All right, no worries. So if you have any problem, just let me know. You can put a comment there, then I can actually help you out with the problem. So I'm going to quit from here. So I'll show you my current working setup. So this is the ICE pool. So you can see I gave the name as ICE, and if you go to dataset, you can see it here as well. So here this is the standard, and there's no proper RAID or redundancy happening here. So now let's configure the iSCSI. So I want to connect this with this my normal device, my local device. So before doing anything, we have to add a ZWall. So I'm gonna click add ZWall. Let's give a name as iSCSI, right? And the size. So I have 666 GBs. So my plan is to use 660 GB. Okay. I might have to click this option because force size is basically the system restricts creating a ZWall that brings the pool to over 80% capacity. So in this case, I'm actually using more than 80% set to force creation of ZWall. This is not recommended if you are exceeding the 80%. So in this case, it's 660. That means it's very close to 90% of the entire disk. So I'm going to say force size, not recommended, but I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to keep it standard. Yes, it is inherit. I'm going to keep it as it is. I'm going to keep all the things default. The block size, at the end of the day, I want to mention this as well. So ZFS, this is block storage. So by default, it's giving you 16. So the bigger the block size, it's going to be fast but less efficient. So I'm not going to go for 128. I'll stick with 32 block size and keep everything as it is, and I'm gonna save. Okay, so switch to new wall. So I have my Z wall now, so I can create my share. So now you can see the iSCSI shares stop. There's nothing working here. So let's go to wizard. From here, let's create a new. So create new. Next. So you have to give a name. I'll give a name as again iSCSI share, and the device, and you can see the share that I created. So I'm going to click it here, and the sharing platform, from here you have bunch of options, but I'm going to go with the modern OS because I'm going to connect this iSCSI share with my Windows computer. So I'm going to click this and press next. So we don't have a portal yet, so I'm going to create the portal. For here, I have to add an IP address. So in this case, I'll add the IP address as 0000. That means it's going to listen to everything. So I'm not going to face any problem. But if you have specific IPs, you can mention specific IPs here, and you can mention initiator. So in here, when you are connecting your iSCSI device or the PC, you can mention the initiators. That means your PC, you will have a name. So that name is going to be your initiator. So let me go to my Windows and search iSCSI initiator. This is it. And if you go here, so what is the message I'm getting? Yes. So if you go to, let's see, discovery, volumes, configuration. Yes. So you can see this is the initiator name, right? So now you can give this initiator name to here, and that only this specific initiator or only this specific computer will be able to access your network share or iSCSI share. So in this case, I'll give an initiator name as Windows 11 home, right? So I'll take a photo of this. If I forget this, then I'll not be able to connect. So, I can come back to the configuration and check it. So I took a photo already, and I'm going to save. So iSCSI service is not currently running. Start the service now. Yes, go for it. Okay, I think we are good. Right. So now we have everything here. So let's try to connect to this iSCSI share. So we have to change this initiator name to the name that, let's keep it as it is and see what happens, and then we can change it. All right, so let's go for discovery, and then we have to go for the discover portal, and then I'm going to mention this IP address here to see whether I have access to this. Okay, and then if I refresh the targets, let's type the IP address here, 192.168.8.109, and go for a quick connect. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything. Maybe it's because of this initiator name. So let me change the initiator name, right? So let's see whether this will help out with not connecting with the server. So I'll type the initiator name, Windows 11 home, and I'm going to say okay. And now I'll be going back here, refresh the list, then go back here. I'll try to quick connect to check whether it will work. 1.10, sorry, it should be 8. Did I write? No, I typed the IP address correctly here. 8.8.9. Yes, now it is connected. You can see it didn't work before because my initiator name was different from the one that I configured. So it's a way of authenticating, but that's not the best way. You can actually use better alternatives, but this is also Good. So now it's connected. So I have connection to my iSCSI shell. So let's see whether I can see it in my drive. So still I can't see any iSCSI. So let's go to my disk manager and see whether I can see it. Okay. All right. You must initialize before local disk manager. Okay, sure. All right. So you can see something down here. Still, I don't have access to it. Still, it's refreshing. All right. So you can see I have my normal SSD and my partition here. So these two drives are here. This is my SSD and this is also one of my SSDs. But the special thing is this unallocated disk, right? So this is the iSCSI shell. So what you have to do is now you right click on it, you can give a name, new simple volume, you select this entire volume, you give a letter, let's give it as A, B, C, D, E, yes. And you can give it a name if you want, and next, finish. Now I have my local disk E, which is going to be the iSCSI shell. So now it's formatting. It will take some time. And remember, this is happening through the network. So let's go to our dashboard and see whether there's anything happening from here. Yes, the CPU is being utilized, somewhat being utilized. Yes, okay. All right. So let's see whether we can see it. Not yet. Let me refresh it. Not yet. Still formatting. Okay. Still the disk is not being, the processor, the CPU is not being utilized a lot, but the RAM is not, yeah, it's not being utilized that much as well. Okay. So let's see once it's ready, it's still formatting. So the formatting will take some time if you compare to a normal hard disk, because at the end of the day it's happening through the network. So now it's done. Yes, let's go to my PC. Okay, so now I have my iSCSI share. So this is upstairs server, but you can see it's shown as a local disk because that's how iSCSI work. And yes, so we got it done. All right, so one thing I want to check is the performance of it. So I'm gonna copy one of the videos I created for this series. So I'm gonna copy and I'm gonna paste it here. Just I want to see how the performance is going to be. What's the speeds? This is a 600 megabyte file, so 3.85 megabits per second. It's not great, but definitely not bad, right? So when I'm using it, the CPU utilization is not that much. It's like 1%, but I'm pretty sure the RAM is being utilized somewhat. Yes. All right. So I think it's working perfectly for now, right? So eventually my plan is to add few more hard disks and get some redundancy here. And you can see it's not the best speeds. I'm not going to get the best speeds from here, obviously, because at the end of the day, remember, this is running through the network. And also I want to mention like my Wi-Fi router is upstairs and there's a repeater downstairs. From the repeater I'm connected to this network, so it's a long distance, so there's going to be a big delay as well. So I'm not directly connected to my network, I'm actually connecting through a Wi-Fi repeater because I don't have the coverage from upstairs to downstairs. So under all the conditions, I think this is good, right? So I hope you learn something new here. So it's very easy to configure. I'll mention the steps one more time. When you want to configure it, so you can see there's a warning here because I use my entire pool for that ZFS storage. So I'm getting a low capacity warning because I told you, if I'm using more than 80%, I forced it. So now I'm getting this error. Not an error per se, this is just a usage warning that I'm using almost 99 almost my entire hard disk. Makes sense because I entirely allocated this pool, the ICE pool, to my iSCSI share. That's fine, but I'll give a small summary of what we did here. I installed Tailscale just to access this remotely. So that means actually if I want to access my server iSCSI share through internet, I can do that using the not the public IP, but the IP I'm getting through the Tailscale client. But the problem is if I connect through Tailscale to the ZFS iSCSI share, then I have to accept the data charges. Every file share I'm going to do is going to cost me. So because of that, I'm not going to go for it. I'm accessing this storage using my local IP, and I install Tailscale only just to access it remotely to this server UI. And once I installed the Tailscale, I also had to create the pool. So the pool name was ICE, and it's running data stripe. So that means there's not going to be any redundancy, nothing at all. And then inside my pool, I created a iSCSI share with 660 gigs. And because of that, I'm getting a warning as I'm using my entire pool. And also, if you want to connect more than one user to your pool for your iSCSI share, recommended is to make separate iSCSI share. So for an example, if you have 10 people in your office, and if you want those 10 people to have their own probably like 20 GB shares, then you have to create 20 iSCSI shares here and assign them with their names. So as you saw, there's a initiator name, so you can map this iSCSI share with those computers with the initiator name, right? So that's how it works. I hope everything's clear. The configuration was actually simple. You create the pool, you create the iSCSI share, I did the initiator part as well because then you have some amount of control, and then you connect using the built-in iSCSI initiator, and you are good to go, right? So if you have any problems, just let me know. I'll clarify everything to you. I hope you got everything perfectly from here, and I hope you can do this by yourself as well. All right, so I'll see you guys in a different video. Thank you very much. All right, hold up. There's one more thing I need to cover. I just went through the initiator configuration and I saw something special here. CHAP. Can you see this? There's something called to set the initiator CHAP secrets for use with mutual CHAP. Click CHAP. So there's something like this. So I checked what this is, and this is simply a protocol called Challenge Handshake Authentication Protocol, which is a security feature used to authenticate iSCSI initiators, or we call them clients, when accessing storage targets or our servers. So I want to enable this in our TrueNAS as well. Okay, so let's configure CHAP, or this authentication method, to our TrueNAS and see how it works. So I'm going back to my TrueNAS. So this is our working setup, and I have my storage. As you guys saw, the ICE storage is here, and inside the ICE pool you can see my iSCSI share, and then my shares are here. So I'm going to shares, right? So I went to the shares option, and from here I'm going to edit my share, and under authentication method we should have, yes, CHAP. But to configure this, we need to have an authentication group number, or a group. In this case, at the moment, I don't have any authentication groups. So let's create the authentication group first, and then let's see what we can do with it, right? So I'm going to click this. Here I have my targets. You can see my Windows 11 home is also here with the IP address, and extends initiators. Yes, this is the group ID 1, right? So can I edit this? Right, so this is the group 1, and authorize access. I can add another group as well. So first thing I'm going to check is whether I can edit this. No. So I'm going to go to authorize access and I'm going to add another group. Yes, I can do that. I'll give the group ID as 2025. It's chap. The user is Windows 11 ice. The secret I'm going to give okay. No, this is enough. So I'm going to save it. So now I have my group. So I'm going to my iSCSI share. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to select chap and I'm going to use this group, right? So I created a group and then I add that group number here and I'm going to save it. Okay. And this is it. Let's see how it works now. Okay. So I have my share here. I still have access. So let me remove access first, right? And let me disconnect from this, right? So let me connect back. Yes, now I'm getting authentication failure because the authentication is there. So if I go to advanced, enable chap login, Windows 11 home, and press OK, still I have authentication failure. Let me check why. I think I know the reason. I'm pretty sure I know the reason. Okay, no worries. Enable chap. I'm going to keep the name as it is for now. Okay. I want to double check whether I type the secret wrong. Press OK. Okay, authentication failure is still there. So I think I gave a different name for here. I gave Windows 11 ICE as I remember, right, for the group. Let me double check it. Go here, authorize access. It is Windows 11 ICE user. So let's give it as ICE, and then I'll give the password, right? Okay, everything's good. It is connected. Okay. To get the local E drive up and running, it might take some time, like 2 to 3 minutes. After that, I have the access again. So that's how you configure chap. So now you have some amount of authentication as well, which is good. Otherwise, it's just the initiator name previously, but now we have some amount of authentication and security as well, which is a good thing to have. So I think now we can wrap it up. I think you learned something from here as well. It's still not up. Probably might take around like 2 minutes. Still it's loading. So once it's up, I'll get the notification here and I'll be able to use the iSCSI share. So thank you very much. Now the video is actually finished, and hope you guys learned something, and hope you guys will, okay, it's up again. The video share is back. My iSCSI share is back. And hope you guys learn something, and you'll do the same thing if you get the chance to do this. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next week. Thank you.